Hello and welcome into another edition of Cooling Down on the Birds Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Sammy Miller, alongside your broadcasters, Ian Nicholas and Dylan Pescatore. And for the first time since 2013, the Firebirds are going to the championship. 4 down, 2 to go is what I keep hearing the Firebirds. They are fired up after their 4-3 victory over the YD Red Sox. And in the championship, they're either going to be facing the Bourne Braves or the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. But before we get into all of that, we have to talk about how the Firebirds got it done. Let's talk about that 8th inning when they really secured that dub.
Well, Sammy, it's all about finding ways to get on base in close games in late innings. Eddie Micheletti, a 4-pitch walk. He had Brandon Stallman come up and force a really big walk against Landon Beitelschie's, loading the bases, and then a passed ball past Ryan Stafford, who, if you remember, did not start the game at catcher. He came in later in the game at catcher, misplayed a pitch by Landon Beitelschie's. Justin Rubin, the pinch runner, came in to score to take the lead. It's all about finding ways to get on base and putting pressure on the opposing pitching staff.
And once again, the pitching was incredible tonight for the Firebirds. Jaden Winter came in, really set the tone, and of course Sean Matson does what Sean Matson does best. He closed it out, coming in at the 8th inning, then of course the 9th inning. What impressed you about the pitching staff tonight?
Well, it all started with a guy who we didn't know anything about a week before, in Jaden Winter, and he pitched just 4 days before in relief against Harwich in Game 2. He was really good again tonight, finding ways to get through innings where there were a lot of base runners. 3 walks tonight, not the usual Jaden Winter, but he found a way through it. 5 strikeouts in 4 innings. And then you bring back Jonathan Gonzalez, who hasn't pitched in 2 weeks. He pitches in a big game in the playoffs, finds a way to get through 2, and then you hand it off to the setup man and the closer, Matthew Watson, and then Sean Matson. It's as good as gold when those two come in, and the Firebirds got it done tonight with, once again, incredible pitching.
And the offense was also one of the strong suits for the Firebirds. Jake Casey went 3 for 3 with a run and 2 hits. Micheletti, Carpellotti, they all were really setting the tone and also passing the baton. How big was the offense tonight?
Well, Jake Casey turned in a perfect time to have his first 3-hit game of the summer. Just good at bat after good at bat. And, none of his hits necessarily like line drives to the outfield that you wonder, is it an extra base hit, is it a home run? But just looked like a different Jake Casey tonight, somebody who was feeling it from the plate and was very smart from the plate. And he's been waiting to have a game like this, and hopefully he can continue into the championship series. And then the 2 guys you mentioned, they're turning in good at bat after good at bat. Eddie Micheletti had a couple hits, had a couple walks here and there, a big walk in the 8th inning, and Owen Carpellotti was really good behind the plate tonight, but also has turned in so many good at-bats. He's had big walk after big walk, especially in this latest series against YD. This group, like you said, passed the baton time and time again, ultimately scored the game-winning run, because when you pass the baton 3 times and you have a new catcher behind the plate in Stafford, you may catch a break. Orleans does, but again, you do not turn in those runs if you don't put guys on the bases. And tonight, Orleans did that when it mattered most, and that's how they got ahead 4-3.
Now, it's not only hard to win a game in the playoffs, it's even harder to sweep. The Firebirds have done it 2 times now, leaving them to have an off day tomorrow. So how big do you think that's going to be for this team?
It's huge, because tonight was the first night you really had to stretch your bullpen a little bit. You turned to Jonathan Gonzalez, somebody who, as Dylan mentioned, hadn't pitched since the end of July. Who knows if we'll see him at the end of the playoffs. But you also have guys in Matthew Watson and Sean Matson, who you expect to play a big role in the championship series. They get an extra day to rest. And then Jaden Winter probably won't start any of a playoff series, but if you want to use him out of a bullpen, you give him an extra day, and you set up whoever's going to start Game 1 on Friday with 1 more day. Similar to what YD had headed into tonight. They were gifted a huge gift by having yesterday off. They were able to throw their big guys in Armstead, Armbruster, and Beitelschie's. Ultimately didn't pay off for them, but they kept the game close. Now Orleans locked and loaded as pretty much everybody at their disposal Friday.
And the Firebirds, they love to make things interesting out here. It's usually a late run in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. But hey, they got it done, and it's playoff baseball. You can't ask for much more out here. It's an off day tomorrow, and then it is the championship. We'll see if the Firebirds are finally able to put a ring on that finger the first time since 2005. We'll see you guys there.